times when WoW players have been a menace. Man, I still remember the menaces of my old servers back in the day when the Isle of Quel'Thalas opened and we were doing dailies up there. There was a guy named Bridezilla. He was a Horde Tauren Druid. That guy PvP'd the shit out of that island. And I played on a PvP server. He used to beat the shit out of everybody. It was to the point where me and my friend would log on purposely together and stick side by side so we could beat the shit out of Bridezilla if we ever saw him. That was how intense he got. So let's see some of the legends of Azeroth. Here, times players have been a menace.
One of the best things about WoW has been how it's allowed players to interact with one another. There's the good, but also the bad. Times when players have gone out of their way in order to cause chaos and grief onto others on the other side of the planet.
Degenerate activity.
While many see this as taboo, to me,
we have a realm to destroy.
Lich, thank you for the follow. Welcome to our Scourge.
it's the spice that online games need, and one of the reasons that has
am I gonna
made
pause?
WoW so special, allowing for various stories to be woven, drama and controversies. So I feel that this unique form of wholesome interaction is worth taking a good look at.
God, what's going on here with these gnomes? Yeah, I have $10 that say a warlock that ninja looted corrupted Ashbringer is in the video. Wasn't that from, oh my god, Stay Safe stream? Wasn't that Stay Safe stream where someone did that? I think I was watching his stream when that happened. Yeah, ninja looting is certainly degenerate activity. Me and my friend who fought against Bridezilla were also part of that with the Vault of Arcanon, or Arcanon, whatever it was called back in Wintergrasp. We each took turns ninja looting the Mammoth Mount to each other. So I led the raid one time, ninja looted to him, and then he did the same for me. Yeah, it was a glorious moment, I have to say. Yep.
But first, ad time. This video is sponsored
No,
by
Display.
Do you ever
Displays
find
are
this
actually
declare
cool.
your walls devoid of
I
any
wish they would
motivation
sponsor
and
me.
drive? Well, make that experience that much better with Displays by getting cool metal posters on demand. About to punch a hole in said wall
He
after a
didn't- he
frustrating
actually won
battleground
it. Yeah, that's
mob?
right. He
Well,
didn't
now
ninja
you
it, he
won't,
won
'cause
it.
you
That's
will
right.
remember you put up a display of your queen. Now bravo and apologize. The plates have a unique mounting system that makes them easy and safe to set up and remove, with the additional option of purchasing 3D magnets and stands for your displays.
Wintergrasp
Look at me
was
unbox
amazing.
These displays I got. They're beautiful. There are many different brands to choose from. World of Warcraft, Warhammer, Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, and many more.
Displays
What a
are
wide
awesome,
selection
man.
of talented artists. You want to give that magic and romantic vibe to your bedroom? Then you should hang up a plate
That
of
goblin
Gandalf the
man.
White over your bed. But wait. For you, there's further discounts during January, especially if you use my link or code Captain Grim. You can even visit my profile and check out some of the displays I
Yeah,
recommend.
exactly. Mob
So,
Classic.
What are you waiting
That was
for?
why he
Make
did it.
your gloomy cave a little bit fancier with this plate. As many WoW players are well aware, probably the most notorious method of being a nuisance to other players
animations.
has always been directly killing them in World PvP, preventing them from continuing on with their objectives and quests. But there are of course other ways to mess with people in World PvP. For example, a method that became widely popularized pretty recently in Classic was dispelling, as it became a powerful tool to destroy people's psyche without even having to kill them. See, during Classic,
What?
the mental damage caused upon WoW players after years of having to play retail's mind-numbing weekly chores and grinds had made them very conscious of the time they spent playing the game, making them want to squeeze
What up,
out
Mikey?
every bit of value they could at any time. Hence why preparing for raids became that much more important. And one of the most important parts about it was acquiring world buffs. I'm sure many of
Right.
you are
Oh,
well aware of
no.
them, but
Wait a minute, they were dispelling my god, the troll activity. Man, the WoW player base is fantastic. Sometimes the shit we do to each other, oh my god.
world buffs are basically
This is
really
so sad.
powerful boons that pretty much anyone could obtain.
I didn't
through
realize you
various
could dispel
means,
them.
usually received by raiders right before they would start a raid run. This significance of world buffs made it an easy target for those that sought to inflict mental damage onto the min-maxi raiders. Since, you know, simply ganking someone for fun is nice and all, but having an extra reason to inflict that much more mental damage is just that much sweeter. Come on, Ultra Slayer XX. You're holding up the raid by 13.4 seconds. Where are you?
I'm right here. Just got my buffs and I'm coming in.
Ultra Slayer?
What a
Enter
dick.
the raid already. What's the holdup?
Hi.
You lost your world buffs again? You're guilt kicked, I swear. And I know where you live.
You won't pay for ruining this raid night!
Of course, many organized to gank those with world buffs, putting them in a tough spot.
Oh,
Join the
man.
raid and underperform by a few percent and risk getting kicked, or attempt to regain the buffs, which probably wasn't happening. So dispelling became a popular option. You didn't even need to kill them, just had to be a priest.
God.
And you didn't even have
Be
to
a
high
priest. Soul crushing. That's what that would be. Be a priest and crush their soul.
level. Well met. How about you help me with killing some wolves? Dedication and conviction that compelled these almost fresh priests to suddenly drop all of their low-level duties and then go on an epic adventure across continents in order to reach Blackrock Mountain or Badlands or something and start dispelling level 60 raiders. It was hilarious.
But you know, see, I am so degenerative. My brain is so fucked up. You know what I would do? I'm so lazy, I don't want to go get the world buffs. So what I would actually do is I would try to get into the raid, and when they say, hey man, where's your world buffs? I'd play off. I'd be like, oh shit. Oh my god, I had them all, and somebody fucking, that asshole dwarf outside I think just dispelled them. And then maybe they'd feel bad and they'd let me stay in the raid. That's how I'd play it. Yeah, I'd flip this. I'd use it to my advantage. That's right. I'm not going to go around getting these fucking world buffs. Get the hell out of here. Instead, I'm just going to play it off that the dwarf dispelled me at the entrance of the raid, and oh man, can you just bring me anyways? I already went through the trouble of getting all these world buffs. Just bring me, man. I'll still pump.
It felt so dirty. Even if you killed them, it didn't matter.
You can't
could already
degenerate
done the damage.
the ultimate
It was
degenerate.
a pandemic. All these low levels in high level areas simply there to be a nuisance and remove their buffs. A lot of people
Taking
were
bribes to
pissed,
not dispel
crying
people?
out for
Wow.
the brutality of the priest dispellers. At one point, a petty GM got upset enough at hearing about a dispeller dispelling people that he banned him, which I thought was pretty ridiculous at the time, and I even made a short video on it. But at the end of the day, it is a form of world PvP, and pretty much what people sign up for on those realms. I thought
Right,
it was
Deatric.
hilarious, but eventually, after many dispel buffs and raid groups in turmoil because they would have to spend around 2-4 minutes longer in the raid, Big Bad Blizzard had to intervene and slap in this dumb shit to appease them, the Chrono Boom Displacer, in order to allow the sad, mentally obliterated raiders to preserve their world buffs and just activate them at will. Because truly, that's the classic plus experience.
So that's a lock in your buffs kind of thing. That's bullshit. Damn it! Now I gotta go actually get the world buffs if I ever do this.
Both. Now, although the cases of players themselves finding out silly and creative ways on their own to be a menace to society are great, I feel it's also worth revisiting the occasions where Blizzard themselves enabled players to cause untold obliteration. There have been a couple of prominent times when that has been a thing, and coincidentally, it was all during expansion pre-launch events. The first case that was very notorious in World of Warcraft's history was the zombie invasion. when
Yeah,
the
the
most
Scourge
notable-
invasion. This actually fit the theme of the Scourge invasion. You know, just went all apocalyptic. You couldn't even play the servers anymore, which actually worked out pretty nicely because that's what the Scourge is supposed to do. They're supposed to make the world essentially unplayable.
occurred during the Wrath of the Lich King pre-launch event. It was a full-on Scourge invasion with the Lich King's armies invading major cities.
This was
with
this was
extra new
badass.
objectives to complete.
This was fun. I have to say, the coolest pre-expansion event to me still is Legion Invasions. Legion Invasions were awesome because it was this open world content. Everybody got together in these zones. It was so much fun to do. The servers felt so damn alive. Plus, the gear that actually dropped at that time was actually pretty cool looking. It was very, Legion-esque, a lot of glowing green and purple and shit like that. That was a fun event. This event was just crazy and memorable. It was good.
Players could now also interact with
Big, sweaty,
suspiciously
hairy dwarfs, yeah.
plague-scented crates. Haha, apparently I can touch this. I don't feel too good. Indeed, the crates would infect the players and turn them into ghouls, causing them to become hostile.
Right,
And give
so
them the
people, of course,
ability
started to do it
infect
intentionally.
Others in order to grow their numbers.
Yeah.
Now, there were already swarms of NPC ghouls spawned in various areas, but player-controlled ghouls? Nah, that's messed up.
Yeah, they didn't
These
need the
guys back
NPCs.
then were bloodthirsty, I tell you. I've read so many comments where people were like, yes, I like destroying the low levels, or I'm gonna camp all the low level questing areas. I don't know what they were going through in life, but they just love the idea
Basically, you'd become a zombie, go to Northshire Abbey, and anytime somebody created a character, you insta-zombied them. So the game was unplayable for a couple days.
of obliterating every fresh adventure's
What a
hopes and
sad
dreams,
time.
organizing
Imagine that was your first experience in World of Warcraft. You were so excited. You know, the entrance theme for Stormwind plays. You go through Elwyn Forest, and then, the voiceover comes. And now, whatever he says, the story comes to you. And then it comes to your back, and then you turn into a zombie, and you're fucking done. The adventure's over. That was what was happening to people.
themselves to intentionally not get their infections cleansed and group up in big globs of destruction as they would raid low-level quest hubs, infecting all low-level players and killing them. There would be literally organized battalions of ghouls and groups just camping around some tree while you were trying to quest in Elwyn Forest, and they would suddenly jump out and devour you. This was especially inflated due to the fact that Alliance and Horde could actually interact and read each other's messages while they were ghouls
Yeah,
in order
this
to
is
combine
back when it
their
was actually
numbers.
World of
It was a
Warcraft.
great event as it progressively got more and more dangerous in the days
First
leading
cross-faction
to the
stuff.
launch itself. Streets covered in corpses and sludge. It caused such a stir that many people took to the forums to complain how horrible this event was, demanding that Blizzard end it immediately, because how are they supposed to find Mancrick's wife when the Lich King decided to invade that very week? Huh?
Hey, what the fuck is your problem? Get your shit out of here! I'm trying to find this guy's fucking wife here.
Like, dude, couldn't these guys wait a little while till the event passed before they killed like their 30
It was
kobolds
fixed,
or
yeah.
something? Fucking hell. But for all those nerds, there were lots of people that thought that the event was one of the most fun things Blizzard had ever done with WoW. I guess they just really wanted to make people suffer, which,
Yeah.
hey, fair enough. This event in particular went on to be repeated during the Shadowlands pre-launch event, making it possibly the most exciting thing about that whole expansion, but sadly, of course, its effects weren't quite the same as, everyone could just fly. But there was another interesting pre-launch event. Indeed, the Legion pre-launch event, where players
Yeah,
in
this one was
Stormwind and
great,
Orgrimmar
man.
could eventually begin
This was
hearing
so good.
dark whispers, being persuaded by the Legion to join their side, as they would be debuffed and be granted a whole new hotbar with unique abilities that were very reminiscent of Dreadlords, as you could take other people's appearances, turn invisible, cause friendly targets to attack each other, and spread those same dark thoughts onto others. When you did convert enough players, your debuff stacks would deplete, granting you a new ability that will allow you to transform into a huge freaking
Holy shit, I don't remember this. Damn. I was too busy outside doing Legion events, like Legion invasions and stuff. I didn't know about this whole aspect. Man, this is dirty as shit. I didn't know people were
Lord
doing this.
yourself. You'd have over
Turn
20
into a
million
Dreadlord?
health and a bunch of busted AoE abilities. A true
Oh my
player-controlled raid boss. Sadly, as
Did they
powerful
stop
as these
this?
Dreadlords were, after you transformed into them, you had only about a minute to cause chaos before you died a horrible
Oh
death.
no, only a
Though,
minute.
in their short lifespan, some of these Dreadlords had a noble cause. They were on the true path of righteousness, as they desired to make the world a better place before they left it. As they would set their sights not on the Alliance capital, but something much, much more
What?
dangerous. The Goldshire
Oh
Inn
my
on
God.
major role-playing servers.
Yeah,
The
Moonguard.
notorious hive of evil and villainy. Their mission was to purge it.
Did
And that-
somebody say orgy? And walking in as a dreadlord and just fucking eliminating all the furries and scalies in there? Yeah.
that they
Sounds
did
about right.
after they barged in on the dozens of role-playing patrons. So I went up to him and I was like, "Hey, what's up?" And he was like, "Oh. Hey there, big boy. You want to quickly get on all fours?"
Yeah,
and
yeah,
maybe-"
that's accurate.
After which they would meet their demise. But one thing that wouldn't be forgotten. is
Legends
their
never
truly
die.
Noble sacrifice.
Legends never die.
Goddamn heroes. And speaking of recent things, we just have to mention the hardcore craze. Personally, not exactly my cup of tea, since usually when I level in WoW, I tend to barely pay attention
Yeah,
to
this
the
is
game
freaking
and
hilarious.
continuously walk off cliffs and die. But it did catch the attention of many, as Blizzard also eventually published official hardcore realms for Classic. For those unaware, the rules are simple. If you die, you die. That's it. No
Yep.
corpse run, no spirit healer,
Good old
it's
hardcore.
GG. Your character dies canonically with everything on them. So you can put two and two together and reach the conclusion of just how much extra grief some players could cause others. Even before the official realms came around, and the player base was simply following the hardcore challenge rules, the chaos had already begun. People were getting creative. Stealth rogues waiting on top of NPCs to bait unsuspecting players to right-click and
Of
attack.
course, man, imagine this is your life. Imagine you are just sitting on top of an NPC stealth waiting for somebody to come click on you. My God, some people have so much time on their hands, this is crazy.
Them to force them into PvP mode. Hunters leaving their pets among packs of regular mobs while they hid in the shadows,
Fucking
waiting
assholes,
for
man.
unsuspecting players to tag them for the same reasons. And of course, the classic warlock method of summoning an inferno and setting
then,
it loose
letting
onto
it
the
loose.
others as it turned hostile.
Yeah.
It was a mess.
What
But possibly
assholes.
the most controversial moments had to be when people played the long con and actually went on to join endgame raids in order to sabotage them to get
Oh,
people
no.
killed. Of
Oh,
course,
no.
raiding in hardcore is that much more important since at the end of the day, it is technically the most dangerous form of content, and you get only
Who
one.
was the streamer raid? Was it who did the streamer raid where the guy just wiped the entire raid? Was it Soda who was doing it? One of the big streamers did a raid and somebody came in and trolled the shit out of it. Wiped the entire raid, purposely did not do the mechanic.
life. So raid groups had to be extra careful.
Imagine playing
But
that long game.
Unfortunately for them, one mechanic that was hard to avoid was knowing for sure if every single member of your raid group wasn't a complete psychopath. In, for example, the
Gotta
very
put a lot of
popular
trust in
case
society.
in Naxxramas, where the tank intentionally mispositioned one of the bosses in the
This
Four
is it.
Horsemen fight, causing it to cleave most of the raid group.
Yeah, this is it. This is the one that I saw.
Dude, you're actually a fucking troll. Oh fuck, was that the wrong corner?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it probably can't get any worse than this. Poof, they're gone in a split
That's
second.
it, deleted.
You carefully spend countless of hours watching your step while leveling to level 60. Then plan out your pre-raid gear and finally organize with 39 other people to finally begin the end game. And this motherfucker.
This guy, like I said before, legends never die. I mean, I know dying in hardcore means you delete your character. Guess who isn't deleted? Teeny Violin. Teeny Violin. That was his name. And his name has lived on in infamy ever since this moment. Yep, that's it.
Guy destroys everything just like that. It's pretty hilarious. They called him the
He
Fifth
did it again,
Horseman.
too? Oh,
Apparently
my
it all
God.
went down due to internal guild drama that eventually spiraled into this.
He deleted
Many
the guild.
people see this in disgust.
He,
Absolutely
he literally caused the demise of the guild.
revolted that a human being would
dick.
do such a horrible thing. Salt was abundant. But in my eyes, though it's so tragic, it's such a silly story to be born from it that it makes it all worth it in my eyes. The drama, the spice, the backstabbing. So sweet. I love it. Though this case was definitely the most noteworthy, raid wipes were definitely something to behold on hardcore, especially when there was a hint that there may have been sabotage.
I couldn't handle this.
On the topic
Personally, I could not handle that, man. That's why I don't play hardcore. If I had taken the time to level up to a 60 and get geared enough to do a raid, and then somebody call, I would fucking, oh my God. I wouldn't be able to play anymore because my keyboard would be broken. I can't handle that.
of WoW players being a menace, I can't help but have one particular moment in WoW's
He got
history
kicked bottom
always
60,
hold up in my
rejoined
mind.
incognito, and did it again in the same
Serenity
guild.
Bell
Wow.
funeral crash. A truly
Oh
controversial
no. Oh no, I know this story. I know this is a classic WoW story, man. The funeral that got crashed by the opposing faction.
thing that I somehow stumbled upon in my early
Honoring
days
a
on the
real life
internet,
person who
and
died.
since was embedded in my mind. Same with most
Yeah,
people I
this-
talk with about WoW. It just seems that almost everyone is well aware of it, even though it happens
The game has changed. The game has changed, but the players have not. This kind of shit, yeah.
so long
would still
ago,
happen
making
today.
it possibly one of the most notorious world PvP interactions or griefs to have ever happened in the game. So, a player had sadly passed away in real life. Their Horde guild chose to honor their
I hope he
memory
plays the
by
voice clips from this, because the nerd anger that was occurring, man, it
holding
was
an in-game
intense.
funeral in Winter Spring. Most of them barely even wearing any armor or weapons, instead taking a semi-roleplay approach. And that is when the infamous Serenity Now made their
Oh
move.
no.
They were apparently a notorious force on their realm, being known for relentlessly PvPing PvE players and messing with Horde in general. Once they heard about this gathering, they very quickly
I
decided...
miss this aspect of the game. I miss big world PvP raids so much. I really do. They're adding the whole new row of world content to the vault. I wish one of the world content things they would do is like raiding Orgrimmar or raiding Stormwind. I wish they would do that because those things were so epic. That was one of the things that got me into WoW. Like when I first started playing the game, I would go on YouTube and look at these clips of 40-man raids going into opposing cities. Those were the coolest things to me.
It's only right to pay
I
them a
wish they would
visit. In the
incentivize
middle
it
of the
again,
ceremony,
beyond the
they all
bear
rode
mount
up
that
on their
everybody has
mounts,
now.
and they begun their attack. Most of the funeral goers didn't even stand a chance with
Look
their
at
lack
that, 2
of gear.
frames per
The
second.
players that orchestrated
That's
the
real
funeral
PvP.
crash would from then on have targets on their backs. Definitely one of the most, if not the most controversial
Yeah, I agree,
player
Deidre.
interactions in WoW's history, for sure. Many argued that what Serenity did was horrible and immoral, while others simply agreed that PvP on a PvP realm is to be expected. Now, for me, if you
Yeah,
kill a
true.
low-level player that's questing in world PvP, then yeah, that's bad manners, sure.
It's a dick.
But it's totally fine to do, as the game allows you to do just that with no drawbacks.
Yep.
This, though, is definitely on another level. Extremely bad-mannered, and in very bad taste, for sure.
Look at all those
And yet,
kills.
it really is just how WoW is.
And a lot of them were RPing, so they had taken off their armor and shit too. This is why you don't RP at a PvP server. Well, at least what was PvP back then. Now you obviously you could do the opt-out system.
There's a strange charm
But
to it,
man.
even in this very sad situation.
What?
For a WoW
What a
funeral, it kind of goes about as one would expect from the game. Chaos. Thus immortalizing the moment in a pretty interesting way, I think. One that has definitely left its mark in WoW's history. Lastly, I want to highlight something special. Possibly one of the most unique and biggest WoW exploits that didn't come to be. It actually came to my attention after a viewer contacted me to tell me all about it.
Ooh, what is this?
When I read it, I was confused. It definitely sounded interesting, but in all my time being invested in World of Warcraft and being aware of all these silly things players did, I had never heard about this one. I tried to look it up, but no videos, barely any screenshots,
What is
and
it?
barely any mention on it, apart from some comments on Wowhead confirming that it definitely seemed like something happened. But how could there possibly be almost nothing
Guy
on
taking
it,
credit for
considering
it,
what
too?
it was? Basically, back during Wrath of the Lich King, you would have a quest with the Ice Giants where you would ride on King Eokum's back.
Yeah, I remember
But
this. This was
is
cool.
where the interesting part comes in. Through very specific means, you could technically just not do the quest and instead fuck off somewhere else with Eokum and do whatever the hell
You
you
could
want.
go-
All right, minion.
Unlimited distance?
Now we must wipe out Orgrimmar.
That is not what we agreed upon.
Shut up.
Oh, okay.
How did he get off of
The
Northrend?
mastermind in question would use very specific means to overload the game and get it to behave the way he wanted. Things like lagging it out, clicking on the mage portal, starting the quest,
Oh
and
my
disconnecting at
God.
the same time. And upon relogging, he would find that he'd still be on Yokum's back, but this time in the middle of Ironforge. From then on, the giant could
shit.
be ridden anywhere, to any zone, as you would have a permanent mount with lots of health that could also attack for you. But the very crazy part about him was
What a legend.
that you could use the same trick, but to instead enter instances as well.
What?
Yup, raids, battlegrounds, and arenas.
This guy was
Imagine
taking
you get your
Yokum to
casual
raids.
friends who finally tried doing some arenas with you, and this motherfucker is your first opponent. Okay, look. just
No
follow
way.
my lead.
There's no way. I wish people had clips of this. This guy was taking him into arenas.
And it'll be fine. We can go on
Imagine the
squishier
gates
target
open and you
first
see this. How badass.
What class is that, by the way? What should I?
This was insane. Not only super strong, but also hilarious. Imagine seeing this thing.
I
running
wouldn't. I
down-
wouldn't be mad. I would not be mad. This would be such an epic moment to witness. I would freaking be crying from laughter.
From the opponent's side in Eye of the Storm. Apparently, when people saw
This
it,
guy
they would
broke the
just
game.
jump off from the middle of the bridge because they didn't know what to do. He would then go on to raid Naxxramas and Icecrown Citadel, as he would be summoned
What
in
a
the
legend.
middle of the unsuspecting raid group, as they thought, oh yeah, we're just getting another random DPS, but instead you get this thing. What? And eventually also he would go on
badass.
to raid Orgrimmar. At the time, Peppy didn't want to reveal to others how he did it, out of fear of the repercussions and getting banned. But after a few days of having fun, he finally decided to turn himself in willingly to the GMs, who
Legends never
actually had a
die.
laugh about it, but still had to give him a brief suspension, upon which the exploit was now fixed. Now, on its own, this is an already pretty
So
hilarious story to
badass.
me. But what makes it especially interesting is that this is the single least documented big thing to have happened in WoW.
Yeah, I wonder why
If
nobody
Ken
has any
had
clips.
instead chosen to spill the beans on this, you would have had dozens, even hundreds of people riding around the
Yeah, but it wouldn't have lasted. It would have been like one day and the Blizzard would have hotfixed it. The fact that he told nobody made it that much more epic.
King Yoakum in every city. Maybe even battlegrounds full only of King Yoakums. Well, it was almost about to look like Attack on Titan or some shit. To me, this is almost on the level of ridiculousness
so
as the
badass.
Corrupted Blood incident or the Kazakh invasion, but just stopped in its tracks.
His
right
silence
before
was
it went
legendary.
nuclear, which then explains the lack of content around it, the lack of footage, recordings, screenshots, whatever. I just thought it so interesting that I had to share it with you guys. And thank you
So
again,
cool.
Pepe, for coming to me with this. And finally, all that is left is the two single most devastating times in WoW's history where players have been a complete menace, that have caused by far the most chaos and destruction, period. The Kazakh invasion
Yeah, of
and
course.
the Corrupted Blood incident.
Yeah.
These two happenings are so big and notorious though that I've already gone ahead and made separate videos on each one.
Yeah, we
just
watched
for
those
you.
videos.
So go ahead and enjoy.
Yeah.
And of course, remember to check out this blade using code Captain Grim. Take care.
Oh man, this was a great freaking
6th
video.
of March, 2005. The day Lord Kazakh was
The
knighted
Kazakh-
and pulled to the city of Stormwind.
The Kazakh
Marking
videos are
one
great.
Of the most notorious world of
Oh man, this video is incorrectly titled. This video should be The Legends. Times players have been legends. Yeah, the most legendary moments in Warcraft history. That's what it should be about. Man, that Yoakum thing was freaking hilarious. Oh my god. Like I said, legends never die, man. Legends never die. In the WoW community, man, menaces. Menaces. Good thing they're not menaces on society. Instead, they get to be menaces in this game. Great video.